All right, y'all, what's good? It's your boy Jay Davari coming at y'all with another video. And in this week's video, y'all, I'm gonna just today's Friday, the 25th of April, and I'm basically just gonna be showing you guys like in my journal the trades that I took this week on my funded account with ETF, Elite Trader Funded. So yeah, we're just gonna get into it. I kind of want to make this a quick video. I want to share some insights on kind of like some of the things that I was kind of dealing with mentally going on this week. But yeah, before we do that, ask you guys please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and feel free to comment down below. Just either make conversation or just give me some feedback on the video. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and hop into it. So right here, I have my journal. I use this YouTube layout that I have found on YouTube with trading journal for Notion. I found like this template. There's different journaling templates that you can copy. I just decided to copy this one. But so currently right here, I only took one trade this week. I went ahead and journaled it. So currently I made $400 on this trade, but I took several different trades and also included that in my journal right here. But this one, as you can see, like the emotion that I kind of felt, I was a little nervous and a little anxious because I wasn't really too sure where price would go, especially because like before I took this trade and ended up closing it out for like about a profit of $400. Uh I really only probably made about $100 for the week because earlier the previous day I took an entry and I ended up losing. Right. Right. No, this was in the same day. I ended up taking this entry on Wednesday, the first entry, and that ended up being a loss. And looking back on it, it's probably something that I shouldn't have entered inside of anyway. But in my journal here, I have it, you know, noted that like this entry wasn't a part of my usual trading model, right? Um, but as you can see right here, I entered this trade because I saw that price respected the liquidity void that was near Sunday's opening price, and that's that liquidity void right here. And this is the Sunday open from April 20th to 2025, 420, right? But so this is that liquidity void that was resting right here. Uh, so I kind of figured that like initially this is that position right here. See this one right here. The blue means that like that's like the take profit kind of area. So anything in here is like profit with this first position right here. I was thinking that like because we kind of respected the area that we would like price would kind of like maybe take off and hit some of these highs again. However, that's not what ended up happening. It ended up getting stopped out. And so when I saw it kind of like tap back inside of this liquidity void again, I was thinking to myself, okay, well, there's a fair value gap right here. And then also, too, there's a liquidity void that's resting right here. And price seems to respect that. So I went ahead and entered into like a quick little short position. However, price continued to kind of like range throughout the day because this is on an hourly chart that I took this execution. So price kind of like ranged for the rest of the day in Wednesday evening, and I ended up having to close the trade about $400 in profit. Um, because like with these funded futures accounts, you have to close your positions. You have to close all or any positions before market close. So it was near market close, and I was like, you know what, $400 in profit, might as well just go ahead and take it for what it is. And then honestly, just after that, I honestly just kind of like just stopped trading for the week because I was like, you know what, I kind of made the money back that I lost. I'm $100 in profit for the week. But I really something I really observed this week is like I really just was kind of like I just felt like I had to be inside the market for whatever reason, you know, and I kind of had to really tell myself like after Wednesday, listen, don't look for nothing else. Just sit back on the sidelines and just let price do what it do. If it make a run, it make a run. If not, oh well, right? You got your money. You ended the day. You ended the day green basically. But so I kind of did some reflecting and thinking like, do I really have to kind of like? I just feel like I have to. I just felt like I had to rush. Just making money and getting to the trade. I guess because I felt like you know, I don't want to lose this account. However, me thinking that it's kind of like led to some self-destructive habits, that could have ended up making me lose the account, right? But So yeah, that's kind of something that I observed this week, um, while I was trading, and I'm kind of glad that I did elect to like kind of just sit back because the market really just consolidated after Wednesday. Thursday or Friday, it wasn't really much movement anywhere per se, right? I want to say on TradingView, really price kind of like just retraced back above the Sunday open price right here, and it kind of just like sat there for the rest of the week, right? Um, I also noted too that like kind of the confirmation for this trade too is like there was also news that was bullish for the dollar with the new home sales and the manufacturing. That kind of helped me with the confirmation of like, okay, if we're gonna see any sort of more price movement going through the day, the dollar is bullish right now. So when the dollar is bullish, that means that the euro should be bearish, right? So that kind of gave me a little bit more confirmation. So it's a little bit of like news, mixed news fundamentals mixed in with price direction of what I was seeing in price at that given time. So that's kind of what led me to taking that trade. You know, like I said, this isn't my usual trading model. It's just like still from learning some of the ICT concepts. You know, it's like looking at candle closes and also some of the fundamentals paired with fundamentals. You know, it's kind of, but like I said, since this wasn't like my usual model, I was kind of like nervous and anxious about this trade. And I was really thinking to myself, like, you know, I shouldn't even really be taking trades like this, right? But so after doing some reflecting on that, I'm glad that I, you know, it ended the week green, you know, with $100 in profit. But at the end of the day, still, I kind of gotta hold myself accountable, like, you know, stick to your process, right? And that I don't have to rush, right? Because I got the, I'm funded now. I have a funded account, you know. And I guess I just feel like there's this race against time because I have to trade for at least 15 days before I'm even eligible for a payout with the account and everything. But so I'm kind of just thinking to myself, you know what? I'm gonna just trade how I trade, look for one setup a week on different pairs, and just at that point, right? If it takes me quite a bit before I meet the 15 days, that's fine. At least I'm like hella in profit. Or most likely, if I like stick to my process and things go right, you know, I don't take too many losses, you know, following through my original process, I should be good either way, right? As long as I follow the process, the money will come along with it, right? So that's kind of something that I really observed this week, and I'm glad I did take the time to sit back and kind of reflect on that, right? And I wanted to share that with y'all too because it's like, you know, on this journey and in this industry, it's like you're gonna have some rough weeks, and you know, you kind of just have to tell yourself, you know, just sit back, right? Just sit back. It's okay. It's a journey. It's not a race. It's a marathon. You know, especially like if this is something that you want to do for the long term, especially like developing the skill set. You know, for like a lot of the people that I listen to, a lot of the older investors or older traders like that have been decades in the game now. You know, that's just something that I kind of that also kind of really helped me too. You know, like listening to them, you know, tell you that, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint, right? Because they've been doing it for years, right? And I'm only been doing it for like a couple years compared to like they're 30. So, you know, but that's really all that I wanted to share with y'all. Just give y'all a quick update on like my trading for this week. Next week, I look forward to hopping into the markets again and sharing with y'all what happens and what trades I execute on, and you know if we profit next week. So that being said, don't forget subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll catch y'all in the next one, man. Peace out.